Welcome to the season finale of Inside the Big East, presented by Geico. And we come to you from our nation's capital. The Syracuse-Georgetown rivalry is an all-American classic. You'll have a front row seat to the latest chapter, and we'll relive the moments that put these two schools at odds. For the Lady Hoyas, the backcourt of Sugar Rogers and Ruby Lee Wright ranks with the best. And returning to our show is teammate Monica McNutt. She was our tour guide last year. Now she has a new career path. It's all here on Inside the Big East. Hi, everybody. I'm John Heffernan, and welcome to an all-new edition of Inside the Big East. Coming to you this week from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., a sold-out Verizon Center on Senior Day here at Georgetown. The Hoyas taking on Syracuse. Everyone's wearing the gray. Let's check out what this rivalry means.
Yeah, he's better than anybody you got.
As we were driving over today from the hotel, you could see the line, and I mean, it went for blocks. These fans and students waiting to get in this building.
Showed up at 9 o'clock last night. Been out here all night. Pretty cold, but it's worth it.
Going all the way back to Manley Fieldhouse, John Thompson saying it's officially closed because Georgetown got that narrow win. A lot of people, including his son, believe that all of those losses at the Carrier Dome that have come since that time were because the gods allowed him to close Manley with an upset.
What makes this rivalry so special?
Well, for me, being a kid growing up in Central New York and watching these games, Syracuse-Georgetown brings out something in the players, in the fans. It's a little something extra. Georgetown players, easy to hate, I think, over the years. You know, Patrick Ewing is just the all-time stud in the Big East Conference. Alonzo Mourning.
I used to look at my calendar and put an X on my calendar the times we used to play against Syracuse because they were our biggest rival back then.
I mean, listen to this. I mean, what is he thinking?
I think it's history. It's something that 4 years ago when I came in here as a freshman, I knew I was supposed to hate Georgetown, and I'm from Chicago. This is a big part of why I got so involved with the TV station, was so that my senior year, the road trip to Georgetown, I could be here for it.
It's part of the rivalry, the John Thompson-Boeheim thing. It's been there for 30 years, and it continues today.
JT3! JT3! JT3!
I grew up not only with this rivalry with the conference and all the great players that they have had up there and the great games.
They look underneath. 3 seconds. Double team. McDonald got it!
I mean, Georgetown, Syracuse, that's the Big East. That's what it's all about.
2 seconds, 1 second. Jackson in the air. Oh, time ran out. No basket. Syracuse has won.
You look at the close finishes, the shots being made, the arena's sold out on both sides. This one is at a whole different level.
I want to get Fat Mello. Fat Mello, I want you!
The biggest thing is that it still means such a great deal. And this rivalry sort of fostered under John Thompson Jr., and it really has sort of continued to be huge under John Thompson III. He never plays it down. He always plays it up.
I remember Sherman Douglas, Derek Coleman, Ronnie Cycli, Howard Trish, all those guys.
Did your uncle ever pass anything along to you about the significance of this rivalry, having played at Syracuse?
No, we just talked about it. He always got tickets for me when I was young just to go to the Georgetown game. You know, and you can see how packed our stands were when the whole games were, 30,000.
In my undergrad days in the 90s, we had Allen Iverson and John Wallace.
We haven't had a senior day like this since Roy Hibbert's class, so this is a big deal, and we just want to send these guys off with a big game.
It's on CBS, big national televised game. It's going to be packed. Everyone's excited. We're going to crush them.
I think Chris Wright being out is a major X factor.
What do you think are some of the keys to today's game?
I think, well, the first key is, can Georgetown get through that zone defense that Syracuse has without Chris Wright? Can they get the ball into the middle of the zone between the front and the back line? And we'll find out the value of Chris Wright very early in the game.
It's going to be jumping, and it's going to be high intensity, high adrenaline game. But I think we can definitely use the crowd to our advantage as a sixth man and just, go out there and play as hard as we can and do whatever we have to do to get a win.
And now it's trivia time. Mike Bray has been coaching Notre Dame since 2000. Who was his predecessor? You've got some time to think it over. We'll have the answer for you later in the show. When we return, Georgetown's Monica McNutt gets her on-the-job training. Inside the Big East is brought to you by Geico, Verizon Wireless, Canon, and purchase all of your Canon products at 17th Street Photo, 33 West 17th Street in New York City. Georgetown's Monica McNutt is next on Inside the Big East. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Big East, coming to you from a sold-out Verizon Center here in Washington, D.C. Our game of the week, Georgetown taking on Syracuse. That's coming up a little bit later on, but it's time now to talk to a member of the Georgetown women's team. Monica McNutt invited us along to check out her internship at the local NBC affiliate as she's making plans for after college. She's also making headlines in the Washington Post.
So I'm here, NBC Washington, Channel 4, WRC. This is where I do my internship. I come in 3 nights a week, and I work in the back in the sports department. This is my fantastic supervisor right here. That's Cal. He's in charge of all the interns.
I think Monica brings a different point of view than a lot of our interns because she's actually playing sports at a higher level than most of us probably were ever dream of playing.
This is Dan.
The best, McNutt. I don't know what she's like as an intern, but she's a pretty good ball.
So I'm going to sit in here tonight, and this is where we watch games, we look for highlights, we got to catch all the good moments. It's our responsibility that the audience gets the good stuff.
She's picked it up really quickly. What benefits her is like the fact that she knows what's good and what's not, just because she's playing.
We kind of shuffle around whoever's not in. That's where the interns sit, and we turn on our televisions and we log in on the computer and we get our feeds in for the games we're watching, and we get the behind-the-scenes feeds, like with no commercials, all the post-game conferences and all that good stuff. The first week that I started, I got to go to the men's game when they played Pittsburgh at Verizon Center, and I got a press pass, so that was cool. I was on the floor running around, nobody could tell me nothing. And then, of course, here when I'm cutting clips and doing highlights, I got to do the Syracuse game. I got to do the UConn game for the guys here recently. I was very upset when Kemba Walker pulled the Kobe-esque move. It actually hurt my feelings.
I've had to clip you.
Yeah, Brian's clipped us. The anchors apparently are mentioning my name, and every time, you know, they air highlights, I'm getting text messages and phone calls from family and friends, which is really neat, so I appreciate it. I'm covering the Wizards game. So what this is the Delete Plus, which is the software we use to clip highlights and store them and log them into the system. It's tapped into a feed on what's called 503, where I'll get the Wizards game purely, and then my television is on the real-time Wizards game, so I will write down scores and plays that I need to clip out of here, name them appropriately, and store them for Cal to use on the broadcast tonight. So this is how it works. The game's about to start, so right now I'm gonna go through what's already been recorded, see if I missed anything, because when you're watching the broadcast tonight, we have what's called establishers. So that's any shot of a player or a coach that starts the highlight. This is my clip. I'm gonna save it. Make sure I'm in Friday's folder. So we're gonna put together a little highlight reel. There weren't really any good establishers in this game, but there's some pretty intense dunks. Big East love, ready, go. Impressive. I'm gonna cut this up here. Ready to start right at the top of the play. I like editing because you get straight to the point.
For someone that didn't have much editing experience when she came in, she's picked it up really quickly. She understands the writing aspect of it, and it's all about just fine-tuning it to where you're comfortable. It's just about taking the ball and running with it.
I'm so glad I have this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. I'm enjoying myself, and I would love for it to parlay into a career, because graduation is around the corner and I need a job. So, anybody watching want to hire me?
And now it's time for the Canon Snapshot of the Week, brought to you by 17th Street Photo. Congratulations to Chris Mullin, who was named earlier this week to the Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. Mullin starred for 4 years at St. John's, becoming their all-time top scorer and leading the Johnnies to the 1985 Final Four. The 2011 induction class, which also includes Bobby Knight and James Worthy, will be inducted on November 20th in Kansas City, Missouri. That's our Cannon Snapshot of the Week. And remember to purchase all your Cannon products at 17th Street Photo, 33 West 17th Street in New York City. Don't go away, Georgetown versus Syracuse is next. It's the Syracuse-Georgetown Showdown on Inside the Big East.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Big East. Tip-off just moments away. 20,000 strong here at the Verizon Center. Syracuse getting things started. Georgetown ready to go. Georgetown beating the Orange up at the Carrier Dome on February 9th. Can they do it again? Let's check it out in our Game of the Week.
The Verizon Center once again packed to capacity as Syracuse comes in to take on Georgetown. It's senior day here, but they'll be without one of their catalysts, Chris Wright, due to an injury in their last outing with Cincinnati. On the wing. Boy, Syracuse has hit 3 threes from that side of the floor, and it's 15-9. Another steal. This one by Joseph. Jardine's got Mello with him. Alley-oop, and he slams it home. Starks with a quick outlet to Freeman. Going reversal. Markell with a beautiful dime drop, and Freeman takes it to the rack. Timeout, Orange. On the wing, Waiters can't get it to go, but there's the tip in. Sutherland very active since coming in for Boeheim. There's Sutherland again. Boy, absolutely coming in and making a difference. 6 in the game. Sutherland again. Oh! Boy, what a breakout performance it's been for him. Sutherland is feeling it. Oh, is he ever? Off the back iron, and we come to the half. Syracuse ends with a 9-2 run. And our score at the break, 33-23. Starks, the freshman, is also joined. Freeman for 3. From the seat of his pants, 41-38. Isn't it amazing in college basketball the emotion that can come into play? Starks leaves it for Sims. He dumps it to Lubick. Nate Lubick, the freshman from Southborough, Mass, ties it at 43. Clark finds Freeman. Lubick the rebound and the stick back. They had not led since it was 2-0. They're on their feet at the Verizon Center.
One of the things I like to see is how a team reacts out of a timeout here. Let's see what Syracuse can muster.
It is a tough shot that's rattled home by Jardine. 49-46. Jardine for 3. 52-46.
He can make some big shots.
Sims finds Starks, a step back tray. Count it!
That was a pretty calm move by a freshman with the pump fake.
Boy, I am impressed. How many times do we talk about free throws being hit? A key, and Trish has 6 of 6 in the last 4 minutes. Clock winding down on Georgetown. And Syracuse will remain alive for the double bye in the upcoming Big East tournament. Our final score, 58-51. A lot of fun.
It was a great game, great atmosphere.
And it was just a physical game. I think they know the history between Syracuse and Georgetown as well. And the atmosphere was great, and they just let us play.
I think we did a great job running our sets today. We had a lot of poise, and grateful for that.
I remember being young, waking up Saturdays watching Georgetown and Syracuse when I was young. So I knew this was our rival game, and we knew we owed them one. We knew we had to get them back. We got a lot of help from our bench, and we're going to need everybody going into NCAAs, and today was just a step one.
And now we congratulate our LifeLock Student Athlete of the Week, Villanova's Laura Sweeney. Number 33 is doing it all for the Wildcats, leading the team in scoring, rebounding, field goal percentage, blocks, and steals. And she's just as complete off the court. Laura's a Big East academic all-star who volunteers her time with clinics for underprivileged children and the Special Olympics. And now for the answer to our trivia question. The coach at Notre Dame before Mike Brey took over in 2000 was Matt Doherty. Doherty, currently coaching at SMU, guided the Fighting Irish to a 22-15 record and an NIT Finals appearance in 1999-2000. That was his only season on the job. Don't go away, Sugar Rogers and Ruby Lee Wright are next. Closed captioning sponsored by BCS, creative captioning solutions for the broadcast industry. BCS Captioning, we make it happen. The Lady Hoyas backcourt is here on Inside the Big East.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Big East. Well, our game of the week did not disappoint. It was a tight one here at the Verizon Center today. A lot of the Georgetown faithful leaving a little bit disappointed. The Orange and the Hoyas split their season series at 1 apiece, with more to be revealed at the Big East tournament coming up in just a few days at Madison Square Garden. Time now to talk about the women's team at Georgetown and the explosive backcourt of Sugar Rogers and Ruby Lee Wright.
What makes this backcourt so effective is how well their skills complement each other. Wright leads the conference in assists, while Rogers is second in the Big East in scoring.
We have a backcourt of a point guard who's going to push the ball extremely hard, who knows how to hunt the paint, who has an extremely good shooter standing on the wing, ready to receive the ball.
The way that we play, we're up and down team, and having Sugar Rogers as your two guard just makes it a whole lot easier.
Ruby Lee Wright is all of 5'3", but she covers a lot of ground.
Playing with her is just fun. Like, she pushes the ball, get out in transition. She gives us the ball, like, different passes, no look, so you got to just be ready.
She's a point guard that has a lot of scoring potential and ability, but she understands that if she distributes the ball, we'll be a better team. She had to sit behind Shawnice Fuller for 2 years, so it gave her an opportunity to learn a little bit.
At first, it definitely was a struggle because I didn't understand the whole college thing, like things that you do and not supposed to do.
And you can see her maturity, not just on the court, but in the classroom, stepping up, trying to be a leader for the team.
She runs this team, and she runs it well.
Sugar Rogers took the Big East by storm last year as a freshman. She's increased her scoring and her presence in the conference.
Here's Sugar Rogers, the star player, number 14.
What a dynamic scorer. Ever since her freshman year, she's got the capability of putting 30 points up on any given day.
As the coach standing on the sideline, as her coach, it's great to watch. I wouldn't want to be on the other side.
Occasionally she doesn't move and we're all looking like, did that just happen? She's extremely talented. She's a very gifted athlete. She's a special player.
When you're in the zone, it's like nobody can like get you out of that feeling. Like that feeling is just like amazing.
She just tell me, hey, push the ball, Rube. I'm on the wing, or I'm running the court. Just throw the ball up. I'm gonna go get it.
She was able to stand out on wing last year and shoot the three, and she knew nobody was going to allow her to continue to stand on the wing and shoot the three. So she got into the gym, she worked on her mid-range game, she worked on her pull-up, getting to the basket.
I'm not one to penetrate and do a whole bunch of dribbling, and those girls do enough dribbling for all three of us. Not only do they get to the rim and create their own shots, but they're great at finding their teammates. They just make life easier for all of us.
And now it's time to hand out our weekly honors. The Big East Men's Player of the Week is Providence's Marshawn Brooks. On February 23rd, the senior broke the conference's all-time single-game scoring record with 52 points against Notre Dame. That total was also the most by a Division I player this season. And the Rookie of the Week is DePaul's Brandon Young. The guard averaged 14 points in 2 games last week, including 23 against USF. He only trails teammate Cleveland Melvin among rookie Big East scorers this season. And for the women, UConn's Maya Moore does it again. She's the Player of the Week for the 8th time this season. Maya averaged 21 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 4.3 assists in a 3-0 week for the Huskies. And congratulations to Cincinnati's Kayla Cook, who received her first Rookie of the Week nod. She averaged 11.7 points, 7 boards, and shot 64.7% from the floor.
Well, we had a great season here at Inside the Big East. It started Labor Day weekend with Rutgers football, and it's ending here at the Verizon Center, Syracuse and Georgetown. My thanks to Commissioner John.
Come on. We got a Wizards game tonight. Beat it.
Tip off Mr. Leonsis isn't for another 5 hours.
All right, you can stay and then get out of here.
You sure I can stay?
Everything's good. Play a sax.
Owner of the Washington Wizards, Washington Capitals, Mr. Ted Leonsis. Our thanks to that gentleman, as well as John Marinato and the entire cast at the Big East Conference, all the hardworking people there. Another terrific season of Inside the Big East. I'm John Heffernan. We'll look forward to seeing you real soon.
And for everything you need to know about the conference, log on to BigEast.org. Don't forget to watch the Big East Women's Tournament, which starts this weekend at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Defending two-time national champions UConn have a double bye, as do DePaul, Rutgers, and Notre Dame. Check local listings for airtimes. Inside the Big East is brought to you by Geico, LifeLock, Verizon Wireless, Canon, and purchase all of your Canon products at 17th Street Photo, 33 West 17th Street in New York City.